Hello and welcome to Luna and the Druid, our channel where we talk about spirituality, Wheel of Year, Druid things, tarot, and today the topic is spirit guides, and this is part two of spirit guides. And welcome, Luna. There
Hi.
you are.
Well, last time I was wondering what kind of technical difficulties will be here tonight waiting for me, and disappearing is one of them. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me properly, because sometimes the energy is affecting technology.
Yeah. Well, I
Anyway,
hear
hello
you.
and welcome.
I hear you. So we're fine. So what did we have last time? We ended up with I think with the Ascended Masters, wasn't it?
Yes, tonight we will talk about how spirit guides are communicating with us, what kind of signs they send us, and then how can we connect with them in the first place as well.
Absolutely. And yeah,
Hello,
spirit.
Suzanne. So lovely to see you, and thank you for confirming that we are visible and
And
heard.
audible and hearable, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, so what are we're saying? We're recognizing the signs, or how do we find our spirit guides? Um, that actually, so if we talk about it, that actually means that we are able to sense them, to connect to them. Is that a process that we set up, or is that a process that comes from the spirit guides, or is it either or? How do you see that, Luna?
Um, as I said last week, spirit guides are those unseen forces which help us to guide and to help us to find the right way. So that's how I see this.
Yeah, do they find you, or you find them, or what would the matter
I
of the moment of contact be?
hmm. To me, it's a matter of alignment. Usually, I'm asking them to help me, and I think that's a necessary part because they cannot do, especially angels, they cannot do anything without our permission and our ask. However, sometimes they will contact me, send certain signs, synchronicities, numbers to draw my attention to something. So I think it goes both ways, and we contact each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the first time I heard about something like this must have been 25 years ago, when someone alerted me to the fact that if you look at the clock in the morning and it's 11:11, that's a sign of spirit that something is coming. And I have numbers like 333. So you wake up in the night at 3:33, and there's also something playing there. There's a contact from the other side for you. So that would mean that you're, like you said, you're aligning to it, you're receptive to it, but it also comes from their side. So I think it's like calling. It's either they can call you or you can call them. That would be my vision of that. Especially once you have a spirit connection, the spirit guide connection, um, it can go either way. Yeah, sometimes they just show up in your dreams, or even in your ears, or whatever. The little voice in the head. Um,
Yes, well, you mentioned repeating numbers or specific numbers, number synchronicities. So, how about we talk about that a little bit?
yeah,
Those are the vibrational codes. Simple but very powerful way the guides and your guides can capture your attention. The one you mentioned, 1111, it's usually a sign of awakening, sign of also alignment, manifestation, similar with 111. But You can have your own meaning. You can add your own meaning to that. It doesn't mean that it's that specific one. To me, for example, 222 is about manifesting, divine timing. 333 would be when ascendant masters are surrounding you. 444, very angelic number, protecting. 555, it's a change, and so on, so on. So it's great to have a tool. Like there are two books. Let me grab them because I forgot to put them on my table. Two books with angelic numbers.
Okay, cool.
Better. Very old one, classic Doreen Virtue, angel numbers 1-on-1, and then a bit of modern type and look at this subject from by Kyle Gray as well. These are specific messages with every number here. So if you're watching it live, if there is a specific number you're seeing, if there is a specific synchronicity you're getting recently from the universe, I encourage you to write it down in the comments so I could actually read what is the specific message your angels, your guides want to send you.
Okay, yeah. I also have a book here with the occult and mysticism, which has a big chapter on numerology as well, like the birth numbers and but also the numbers that would show up there. Yeah, like you said, personality numbers. Oh, it's a long chapter. Vowel numbers, numerology of names. Yeah, numerology is an interesting topic, and also an interesting idea of seeing things. And of course, we have these assigned numbers: 666, the number of the beast; 777, which we use for tarot correspondences and corresponding elements. So there's there's a lot to that as well.
I would love to add 666 is not a sign of the beast. It's designed to stop you and re-evaluate what you've been thinking of. It's the 666 has been demonized as a Satan sign. It's not at all. So don't be scared of getting that.
Oh,
A message
I'm not.
from the
I'm not
book.
saying it to be scared, but it's a folklore way of pronouncing that number.
Yes,
I
and I
think
want
there's
to
even
debunk that myth because it's a myth.
okay.
Your thoughts are too focused on material illusions. Rise your thoughts spiritually to get your life back on track. And Magdalena says, hello all. So lovely to have you here as well. Let me see
Yep.
what the other book says as well, because I'm curious. Stop. No. Do not make any sudden decisions. Your ego has taken control and it's leading the way to heartache and fear. But you can recover your power. Call in the light of God. That's the 666.
Those are totally different messages than than the one I mentioned. So it's not set in stone, and it's good to have various viewpoints on that.
Absolutely. And that's why I said observe what's happening when you see those numbers, because within your reality, within your world, it could mean something different. But what is important when you see those numbers, pause. Have a look around. What's happening in your physical reality when you saw that number? What you were thinking, what you're feeling, what you were feeling before you saw those numbers. Perhaps you were asking yourself a question, and let the guides reflect back the message for you.
Yeah, I think that would be the idea. What thought comes up? What do you see, hear? What do your senses feel? What does your intuition say? And I would say when something shows up, it's connected to it. Sometimes you think, okay, I'm making this up. No, you're not making it up. It comes naturally. These are your psychic abilities to make these connections. That's and they're in all each and every one of us.
What about things like finding feathers or coins?
Yeah, that could be a thing of manifestation. I remember when I was working with the law of attraction, and I went deeper into it. We had a challenge in our student group, looking for blue feathers. And if you think of blue feathers, you never see them. But when you start thinking of blue feathers, all of a sudden you open a magazine and boom, there's a blue feather, or a truck drives by and the logo of the company is a blue feather, or even you find a blue feather in on the road, which you thought would never happen, and then all at once it happens.
Mm.
Um, and the same when um, so when you think of things, when you open your mind up for things, that's when you get them. And there are, of course, there are signs that you are aligned. If you take that a step further, what I always say, when people visualize, when people daydream, when they project their future and look for signs, it's like buying a ticket. And when you buy a ticket and you go to the train station or the airport, you just have to see for the right plane or the right train to arrive and hop on. And so that's how you reverse that idea of things just randomly happening to you. But that's where you manifest spirit, because you have set your intentions, you have um, set out to see this and to wait for this sign of the universe. And when you get it, that's the time to go big.
Yeah, and feathers are classical spirit signs, usually delivered by angels, by ancestors, or nature spirit. And every color of the feather has a meaning. And white is for peace, purification. It's a sign of angelic presence. So often, in a time of stress, for example, you can find a white feather. It's your guardian angel reminding you about his presence and that all is well and that you are safe. Black, on the other hand, are the signs of protection as well, but more spiritual, energetical protection, as well as mystery. Gray represents balance, neutrality, sometimes transition. And colorful one can represent joy, creativity, playfulness. So depending on what color of the feather is that, you can decode the message and see what your guides and spirit guides are trying to tell you. And to me, it's always a sign of my guides reminding me, hey, we're close, we're nearby, we're listening. So we are here to support you.
Yeah, wonderful. And so you see the feathers and the colors, they have the combination of that has that meaning for you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. When I find one, I always check what does it mean, because sometimes the feather can be brown, a mix of colors.
Okay, okay, perfect. Anything more on feathers?
Hmm?
Anything more on feathers? You're quite knowledgeable about them.
Well, my favorite way of guides connecting with me is through intuition and gut feelings. This is spirit's voice within you, connecting through your body and using your body. It's that subtle language of knowing. It's not dramatic, it's not very visible, but it's felt. Um, yeah, I'll leave it like this for now.
Yeah, intuition are these little hunches you get of being on the right track or not being on the right track. I remember from my own experience that there was a time that I was very much into buying and selling stocks on the stock exchange, and I was driving, and I know exactly where I was driving, and I got the feeling, okay, got to call the bank and get rid of all my shares today, because uh, I, it scares me. And I thought, yeah, but my advisor just told me, sit still and everything's going to be okay, and you're going to be rich and more rich and this and that. Well, I wish I listened to my intuition, because that year I made the biggest loss of my life. And by not listening to my intuition, by not responding to my gut feeling, by not responding to this little voice in my head said, call the bank manager, get rid of the shares, buy a few houses or something. I I well, I lost a lot.
Well, but that's how we learn to listen to our intuition, by making
Absolutely.
mistakes. At the beginning, those are the little ones, but then if we still don't learn, the spirit will guide us into bigger trouble. So we would start listening and trusting, because listening to intuition is one thing. We all can hear it to the certain level, but following and taking on that guidance, it's another story.
Acting upon it
Right.
is totally different
I
story.
love to teach people how to tap into their intuition. And in 3 weeks, I will run a workshop about intuition itself. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Wow.
Also, dreams and symbols through dreams. Let's talk about that, because dream time is that sacred meeting place when your conscious mind relaxes and your guides can speak directly.
Yeah. But on the other hand, there's a few things that I always find difficult with dreams. First is to remember them when I wake up, or to remember them half an hour after I woke up, and sometimes explaining them. That's also a thing, you know. So I know there's even, we have a few books in our house where we have dream explanations in. So if you dream about a car, this means this and that. If you dream about a house, means this and that. And but is how do you experience it? I find it rather difficult.
To me, it's pretty simple. First of all, when I have a dream which is a message, I do remember it, period, because I feel waking up like I've lived there. I've lived through that dream. So emotions and memory is very vivid. Second of all, never look through the window if you wake up, if you want to remember the dream. So if you had a dream and if you looked through the window, outside of the window, especially if you're not using any curtains, you will forget the dream very quickly. Third thing is have a journal on your bed table and write down the dream, because this is the only way of remembering with details. Also, you can record it as well and then go through the books which talk about meaning of the dreams. There's plenty of those. Also, you can meditate and ask your spirit guides to explain more the symbols, because symbols, the dreams can be interpreted directly as how it a real situation, but sometimes they can talk in symbols. They can be a metaphor. Sometimes it can be an energetic or emotional message, the way we feel after waking up. So always ask your spirit guides, your intuition, what is the message through that dream?
Okay.
Before going to bed, before falling asleep, you can always ask your spirit guides of light to visit you and pass their message through dreams so you can understand it, remember it, and follow the guidance.
Yeah. One of the one of the tricks someone taught me about remembering dreams said, take a tall glass of water on your bedside table. So before you lie down, drink half the glass of water, lie down, go to sleep, and in the morning when you wake up, before opening the curtains, drink the rest of the water, and that will liven and bring back the memories, and make that also like an intention, that when you drink the second half of the glass of water, you will remember everything, and like you said, then write it down. And if it's not clear, ask the guides or look it up. What does, you can even look it up online or with AI or whatever. What does a certain dream message contain? And yeah, that's also a nice way of doing it.
For those who are watching us live or rewatching this episode, share in the comments which is your favorite way spirit guides connecting with you. What kind of signs you notice? Are those synchronicities? Are those perhaps numbers, coins, feathers? I'm curious to see. What about physical sensations like tingling, warmth, feeling some sort of presence, a little bit of touch somewhere, or tapping on the shoulder? What about that?
Yeah, that's a wonderful message, a wonderful way of receiving information, receiving a warning or a sign or a signal that there is something you should think about. Um, and again, it's funny. It's different than, for instance, we recently did an episode on anxiety, which is also coming from places, and it's there's also a physical reaction, but this is more like a physical hunch you feel or a physical sensation, like the senses feel it, the senses experience it, and you could even. I'm very visual in that I sometimes have things in the corners of my eyes, and when I look, it's gone. that's that's most of the sensations, the visual things that you see on the sides that they go away once you observe them. But when you're just receiving them, seeing them, or feeling them, or sensing them for what they are, then and translating that into a message for yourself, or just asking, what are you trying to tell me? What is your message today?
It can be ringing in ears, it can be the wave of warmth or chills, it can be sense of presence, a tingling around crown chakra, third eye, sense of peace, lightness, some sort of expansion. I think it's very individual. It can be feelings of knowing through our senses, through our psychic senses. So if you experience those, it is important to ask your spirit guides to allow them to feel their presence and also observe and try to notice energetical shifts which are happening around you.
Yeah.
We talked about the signs, but how to connect and how to communicate with our guides in the first place. Because communication with them begins with intention and permission. Because our guides always honor free will. They will send you a sign, but if you are not willing to receive it and follow on its guidance, they won't force you. No.
Yeah. In my perception, the way that I got it for the first time, it my first spirit guide was an eagle, and it came in times of need. I was lying in the dentist chair. I got a very big treatment. Uh, at the time, it wasn't very common to get to get sedation for anything, and it felt horrible, and I relaxed. I went deeper. I went still a bit deeper, and all at once there was my gray eagle. And the eagle took me on his wings and took me in the sky. I was soaring high, and although the pain was still present, the journey with the eagle gave me that much distraction that I could live through it without being shaky or being heavily involved in that. So that was my first time that a spirit guide, in this instance a spirit animal, an eagle, showed up to help me. And since that, I have kept connection with the eagle. But there are different ways.
We have a wonderful comment from Magda. I recently found a coin which is very rare nowadays. I found different kinds of feathers or stones in the shape of heart. I know my guides are sending me love. Thank you for sharing. That's a wonderful way and
That's
a
beautiful.
beautiful one, especially seeing those hearts. And Anna says, hello, beautiful people. Yes, absolutely. Um, my favorite tool to connect with my spirit guides is, of course, a deck of cards through tarot, oracle, pendulum, psychic tools, basically, but also journaling, meditation as a portals to dialogue. This, however, is the love we share both with Jan. Love to tarot, love to have those conversations and stories which spirit says through
Through the cards. Yeah.
pieces of cards with some pictures drawn onto it.
Yeah.
But the connection and the way it works is so much more than just the pictures and just the knowing. This is where the intuition kicks in, the voice we channel from the higher self, God, angels, whoever tarot readers, card readers connect with. This is a totally different story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But for people who think, do I have a spirit guide or can I find a spirit guide? Um, there are various ways of doing that. One I found very interesting is when is what you do with can do with three people and you can all find the spirit guide. It's one of the three is the facilitator that guides a meditation. The second one is the giver that goes into meditation and finds the spirit guide. So that's the scout. And the third one is the one who receives. So that's the passive role. And so, and sometimes I remember the first time I had it, we also had a drummer who kept the space through a steady rhythm. And all of us went into deep meditation, into a deep journey. And in the journey, we found an animal, a creature, a god, an angel, a fairy, and brought it back to the person you were getting it for. So that's a lovely way to receive a spirit guide, even though you're probably are not even aware how to pick one or how to find one or whatever. And that would be that was a lovely way uh, where where surprising things come up because you sometimes say, I remember in that session, all of us had an idea that was exactly the right guide showing up for me at that time, and all four of us had the same response that it was exactly what we needed at that time.
Magda says, thank you for reminding me about connecting with spirit guides. I feel that I forget that I can ask for their guidance.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is very important to communicate with them and just ask. Before I pull any cards, I just ask Spirit to guide me and ask a question. And then by pulling cards, I
yeah,
receive answer.
yeah,
But
yeah,
this comment is actually pointing me in the direction of how to ask for help, how to connect with them. And it's very simple because it's based on a clear direction and trust. So perhaps instead of saying, please help me, try, please guide me toward the best decision for my soul's growth in this situation. The more specific you are, the better guidance and the better answer you get. And what is crucial, let go of the how. Don't worry about how they're going to communicate. Just trust. Because signs and synchronicities will be your response without
yeah,
needing to know how.
yeah. And that's Also very important, like you said, these spirit guides are benevolent. They are our friends, and that like what Magda said, remind me about connecting with my spirit guide. If you don't do it for a long time, it might be that the guide you once had has moved on, and that you'll have to connect or reconnect again and build this connection. I especially say to people who come to my tarot tables, tarot readings for ancestral connections, I always say you can't call them by phone anymore, but you can in moments of solitude, you can think of them. You can think of your parent, your grandparent, uh, uh, a brother, a sister who passed away and is in realm of spirit now, to 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 guide you from there. But it's also always it's very handy to keep the connection alive. It's uh, like an old radio that hasn't been on for a long time. When you turn it on, will it still receive the messages, or will it still be able to send the messages? And that's why keeping, yeah, practicing the practice is important. Keep on practicing the practice, and I'm always so aware that the people who have passed away, that left us for what reason or another, that they really appreciate if we think of them, if we ask them for help.
But as you said, guides can change throughout our life. We will have different messengers, we will have different spirit guides. Sometimes we have to align in order to get into the realms of vibration they exist and they communicate. So we have to grow in order to connect with more higher realms of guides as well. And I am lucky enough to have my mom, who passed away many years ago, as not just my spirit guide, but also the spirit guide of my soul group. So that's wonderful to be able to still connect with her, to still talk to her and cherish her wisdom and drink from that fountain of wisdom, as she was a wise woman. And as a soul, she certainly isn't even wiser.
Yeah, and that's how you see how important it is for yourself and for them to keep the connection alive. Yeah, yeah. Then they can bring this wisdom. They can bring yeah the wisdom of the higher realms. And when we're back in spirit, when our souls leave this body, we ascend back to, I would say, we go home again, and that's where we gather the wisdom from all the lives that we lived. And so the wisdom there is a multitude bigger than what single souls here on earth can even achieve. That's why we have them, because they are bigger than us in that respect.
Yes. Treat them as your best friend. Create a relationship. And
Maintain that. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And you can do it through gratitude and through consistency. You could create a small altar where you could put a candle, a crystal, a feather or photo to honor your guides. You could go out in the nature and connect through the nature with them as well for a mindfulness walk where you actually allow yourself to clear your mind and have that conversation and connection. Offer daily gratitudes. Be thankful that they are there to support you. Um, and perhaps journal and write to them from time to time as well, just like you would text a friend or pick up the phone and call them. I think it's important.
Yeah.
It's like a partnership.
Yeah. Yeah. And so stay aware, stay open to their messages. They don't usually shout it in your ear. They're not big flashing lights, although sometimes lights flashing, especially the ones that are connected to the grid, are a sign that there's someone there. Orbs that show up on photographs or light beams or dispersed lights can mean that. Um, so the more you are opening yourself up to that science, the more the spirit will make itself known. It's like a conversation, with spirit. And remember, I'll share a nice quote with you. Remember, you are never truly alone. Your spiritual support team is always with you, and they exist to assist and guide you on your path. Pay attention to the whispers. They're there.
Perhaps we could
Yes,
see our guides in action.
yes.
But sorry, I switched off my microphone for a second accidentally.
Oh, you're here. You're still here. Yeah.
By doing what we do by our best, which is pulling some cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Did you have a new deck there?
yes, I have
Oh,
two decks on the table, one Oracle and one Tarot. But because I treated myself with a beautiful new deck, then I think I will go with this one today.
yeah.
I
I'm.
will switch my microphone for a second just so I could shuffle the cards because I haven't been using this one. It's
Okay.
a fresh one.
I have I have a few new decks. Mythologica Finica. So this is a mythological deck which does it, and also I have a Lemurian deck, the follow up of the deck I used last week, the Beyond Lemuria. But I think I go for the Finnish mythology, Western mythology, and that one is already shuffled. It has already been used, but it's still quite new.
My new deck is very talkative. Cards are flying all over the place. Few landed on the floor already. So I think we've made a good connection here. And Alice in the Stars. Hello, lovely. So great to have you here tonight with us.
Hello, Alice. Lovely to
Alice.
have you here.
Alice. This is my spirit guides whispering me some connections. That also happens to me a lot. That all of a sudden I hear a certain song inspired by something, and then there's definitely a message. Okay, so let's see what energy opens the door to your spirit guides now. And this card will reveal the state of being that allows you to connect to peace, surrender, gratitude, grounding, perhaps. So this is the representation of the between your human self and the spiritual realms. Ooh la la! I don't think we're going to do a pick a card today. I really feel like to do a constant reading.
Okay.
Through that. Would you like to start then? I have two cards, very interesting.
I have two cards also rather interesting, and they're very very new to me, so I have to read them intuitively. And shall I do card one and you card two, card three,
No,
card
just
four
keep going. We'll do it in one go as
in one go? Okay. I have a card called Iku Turso, the Four of Cups. Can I see it? Yes. And the Four of Cups in this situation is just a bit too much. It's a bit too much. You're taking up, you're going too deep in indulging things. You're going too deep in enjoying things. You forget the spirit because life has been so easy for you that you forget the connection with the spirit guides, and it's really time to let that go. And with the Two of Swords, that that comes after it says, okay, take a step back from the Four of Cups to the Two of Swords. Take two steps back. Go within, close your eyes or blindfold yourself, protect yourself, go within and go deep, go 2 levels deep and connect to spirit. Wait for an answer because it's there.
Yes. With the Empress and the Emperor, through your creativity, through nurturing the connection with spirit, but also through balancing both energies, feminine and the masculine within you, which within the feminine energy is the intuition, receiving the messages and bringing them into physical realms, into putting them into action. This is how you get through the door to reaching accessible knowledge and accessible connection with your spirit guides in general. So through trusting the human aspects of receiving messages, signs, guidance, you'll be able to deepen that because your spirit guides are talking to you through your energy at the moment. Let's pull another card, which will answer the question, which guide or energy wishes to connect with you at this time? And what I mean by this question is, what is the area of life which requires the attention, which requires a bit of guidance from our spirit guides?
Okay, I can start here. Um, what's the energy of attention that you have? Uh, it's the card's called Krati. It means the Four of Pentacles. So it's this is definitely a card of again like the Four of Cups here, being too greedy, sticking too hard to to possessions, not accepting the wealth that is presented to you for growth of yourself and support of others. Your spirit guides say, uh, keep the energy flowing. Don't be too stagnant in the energy. And we have oh yeah, that's about balancing a karma justice card. So balance the inflow, the outflow, balance balance what you give and what you take. So very much cards that are saying be in the world and not just of it. Be in the world and open up, share the good things, share property, share prosperity. Uh, Make sure there's a balance between what you give and what you take, and make also sure that there's a balance in yeah, in the world within and the world without.
I checked my deck and it's pretty shuffled, and yet with the cards 4 and 3, Emperor and the Empress, we have the Hierophant, number 5, the
Wow.
Wise One. So your soul is reminding you that, hey, I am here to guide you, but it's you who need to take this wisdom, which I'm sending you, and bring it into action, which resonates with the 2 cards I pulled just before that. And it's interesting. I see that triangle you were talking about, the Wise One guiding, and then the receiver and the giver as well.
Yeah.
So through your own connection, through your own soul, it's like, in other words, this message is your own soul, your own higher self is asking you, hey, communicate with me. You've forgotten about me. I'm here guiding you, showing you the best possible way of going through journey of life, and yet you don't connect with me as
How
much.
interesting! Yeah, how interesting that the Hierophant is in the middle, and left and right there's two people, the Emperor and the Empress, or are they the lovers on the other side of the
Yes,
Hierophant?
yes, absolutely.
Will you stick to the
So let's
numbers?
see what guidance or wisdom they are offering right now to us. Hard on the floor. Let me grab it.
The guidance my spirit gives me. Uh, it's called a rapid spirit. The card is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups means Jesus, just trust in the process. Trust in the process, have faith, all will be good. Look, this happiness that this card represents is unconditional. The flow is there. It will be there. If you're ready to receive, you will receive. If you're if you stay stagnant, or if you stay within your limiting beliefs, if you don't accept the positivity, nothing will happen. But it is there. Open up the floodgates. Enjoy, enjoy friendship, enjoy love, enjoy all the good things that life has in store for you.
Yes, just get down from the clouds and get back on earth with the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups talks about making choices and sometimes being overwhelmed by those choices. But
Yeah.
on this, in this particular deck, what I'm sensing from this card, because obviously it's a deck to work with your intuition. Trying to show you the card. There it is. It's a
It's
beautiful,
very clear
beautiful.
to me.
Yes. So get out of your head and follow, trust that intuition. Don't second guess the guidance, because often there are people who try to rationalize things. And in this case, rationalizing only clouds the clear vision. So get back on earth, out of your head, out of your mind, and just be fully present within the moment.
Yeah.
And that's the way forward. And that's the message for you. Let's see what prevents you from hearing or trusting your guidance. This might be an interesting one. So, Spirit, please show us what needs clearing: fear, doubts, emotional noise, impatience, um, being overly dependent on logic, or whatever that is.
I pulled. It's called the card. They're very, very creepy. These cards. The Folk of the Graveyard. It's a very Halloweeny deck. Folk of the Graveyard. The Five of Swords. Um, and the question was, what is holding you back? Well, that's actually the Five of Swords is the idea of defeat, the idea of um, hurting each other, the idea of not making amends when you really should. Look, the other cards, especially the last card that they said, let's be happy together, and this card, and especially here where um, where this person is mourning his defeat. But remember, you're only defeated once you give up, once you give up fighting, once you give up manifesting, once you give up uh, the idea that you can have it if you only allow it.
And I think, where does it come from? It's
Yeah.
coming from the pain. Three of Swords, a
Oh,
heartbreak.
Jesus. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, what blocks your connection is the fear of getting hurt, the unhealed wounds, also the fear that, what if I fail following? What if it's just my mind speaking to me different things and it's not just reality here? So trust. Remember that spirit is always guiding us in the right direction for us. There is always a message. So what stops us from connecting is that pain perhaps we've experienced before by listening or not listening to our intuition, because sometimes our guides will direct us straight into hell because there is a message for us there, which we won't learn otherwise in any place else. So don't worry about it. Don't remove the fear, remove the pain, because that's definitely in your way of connecting and receiving clear guidance. So let's see how we could strengthen the bond, how we can nurture a stronger and clearer connection with your guides.
How we can strengthen the bond? I have the Queen of Pentacles, so we're back in Pentacles again. So in the realm of the manifested world, the realm of the body, the realm of health, and the Queen, of course, is um, Queen of Pentacles. To me, is a lot about remembering how you did it, remembering your spirit guides, remember who they were, remember, like we said earlier, uh, how long ago was it till we connected them? How long ago was it till we asked them for inspiration, for guidance, and now's the time to rekindle that bond and to secure it, to ground it in the earth. That's what we do.
But also through tapping into your emotions with this King of Cups here. Oh, there it is, the focus. Look at those cards, they're amazing. By tapping into your heart, by receiving and giving love, by allowing yourself to open your heart a little bit more and overcoming emotions, overcoming perhaps those doubts which can form here, and just trusting, not with your mind, but with your heart. And last but not least, what gift or transformation comes from working with your guides? Let's see what they have to say. I already have one card on the table. Oh, I like that smile. Go for it.
So what, can you remember, repeat the question?
What gift or transformation comes from working with spirit guides?
Yeah, we have I pulled a card called the honeybee, and it represents the Ace of Swords. So the honeybee, of course, and the Ace of Swords, you could say a sting, a wake up call. The Ace of Swords, in my in my perception, is about awakening, about the golden dawn, about a new dawn. Um, so yes, the message is tomorrow when you wake up, let this be the first day of the rest of your life.
Let it be, let it
Let it
be.
be the first day of the rest of your life.
I love that.
Speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be.
And I have a very specific message which won't resonate with all of you, but definitely with some, because I have a Knight of Cups.
Ooh.
And to me, this card represents romance. So perhaps your spirit guides are guiding you towards discovering love, more love to yourself. Perhaps if you're single and ready, your spirit guides are guiding you on a path of connecting with someone special. Um, Knight of Cups is in general, to me, it's the energy of love. So you will experience more love, regardless of being in a relationship or not, being in a connection with another individual or not. You will experience more love, more heart openness, more romance within your life, because we don't have to be in a relationship to experience romance with life itself. So yeah, that's an interesting card here.
Yeah.
So if you're single and ready to mingle, listen to your guides, because there is a bit of new chapter waiting for
Yeah,
you
like
ahead,
like like
as
like
I
the
said.
episode. Yeah, yeah,
And the bees, the honey, very
very
symbolic
sweet.
moment here.
Yeah,
So this is interesting what came through.
yeah, wonderful.
All
So
right,
let
I've
love flow the coming days. There's enough other things happening in the world, and let our community, our spirits, let our spirits guides the guides of Luna and the Druid channel, and the guides of our viewers. Let's guide us, please.
yeah,
Guide us to love.
let us be guided.
Let us be guided. Yeah, be.
Yeah. I hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for joining us tonight at Noon and the Druids. Please do connect with your spirit guides, and perhaps you could share a little bit about your journey in the comments as well. But this
Yeah,
is all for tonight. We will see each other next week with another topic, probably a continuation of this, because I would
yeah.
love to talk about intuition and psychic senses a little bit more. So, if that's something you would be interested in, I recommend coming back next week, same time, Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We'll be here,
As
promise.
Luna and the
Maybe with
Druid.
a delay like today, but hey, who knows what's happening? Thank you so much, and I'm sending love straight to your hearts. Yes.
Bye.
Let the guides be with you.